Selamat pagi.
Pagi.
Apa kabar?
Fine.
Saya juga.
Angkat tangan semuanya.
Welcome to day 3 of the training for remeasurement of tree diversity plots. Just like yesterday, I'm going to start off with a recap. So what did we learn? There's a lot of things we've been covering in the past 2 days, and there's even more to come. So without further ado, my clicker works. Let's have another technical. It's not working. Okay, great. Here we go. So, who remembers Hari Selasa? What did we do on Tuesday? Anyone want to shout out? It was a long time ago. There's been a lot of knowledge since then. Okay, I'll jump into the rescue. 2 days ago, we started with the overview of the field plan and we talked about the logistics. We went through the field sheets and the plot maps, talked about how to navigate to and locate plot centers. Then we jumped into the tree survey, talking about everything from tags, how to assess the condition of the tree, species codes, all that good stuff. And then we jumped outside and learned how to measure tree heights with a bunch of different devices. Then, yesterday, we started with a recap, like we're doing today. We headed back outside to test the Nikon and TruePulse for height measurement, remembering that it works best if the trees aren't too skinny, remembering that we had to be in the right mode, all that good stuff. We had really nice presentations from Iqbal and Roland about the major tree families, and then we went through the Ratza and Deadwood variables. We finished the day by heading outside and working with the GPS and Trimble and testing out Habitat. We have a very packed day today. We will be recapping day 1 and day 2 in a little bit more detail and highlighting some important points. So we're going to just give a quick flash of the plan one more time so everybody knows when things are supposed to be happening. We'll talk a little bit about the GPS and the navigation, because we worked on that yesterday, but when we brought it back, we didn't really discuss, okay, why do we have a GPS? Why do we have a Trimble 2? What about other things? Some people know Avenza, some people know Locust. What are the benefits and what do we really need for this campaign? I wanted to make sure that we have a little bit of a discussion about safety in the field. So I've heard stories of people getting lost multiple days in the forest and things like that, or of these toxic slugs that will attach to you and give you diseases and things. So yeah, safety is definitely a big component of what we do, and that's really the goal. So we'll have a quick chat about that. And then a little bit about, okay, what if we could do this again? There's been some talk of, hey, maybe in another 10 years, I come back or people here just do this work again. So what does that look like and how is that relevant? I have a nice update to share with everybody that we have an updated species list from Fabian that I just received with a whopping 379 species. So the number keeps going up. I want to hop outside again to get the blood flowing, and I actually want to try to set up a 40 by 60 and a 10 by 10 so we can all get a feeling of, okay, what does that actually look like? What are we really going to be setting up in the field? How much work is this really going to be? And then we get to the good stuff, to collect mobile. So we're going to test all of that out. I'm going to also tell you guys, show a little bit of the inside of Collect and how do you actually make the survey. And then we're going to get outside and actually try typing some things in and try taking some kind of fake data like that. All right, so here we go. This is the overview and logistics of the general plan. So don't forget, we have all of February and pretty much all of March for this field work. Every time we go into the field for 1 or 2 weeks, and then we come back to Palu, we plan, we make it better, we troubleshoot, all that good stuff. Remember when we do these plots, they're often in pairs, yeah? So that means both teams are gonna go share in the same camp. In the daytime, go to the plot. In the evening, some people come back out, yeah? Can everybody see this? Is that better? Yes, perfect. Anything on this? Okay, great. All right, so as I mentioned yesterday, we worked on GPS and Trimble. Now, the reason that I have two devices is basically because, we just want to try them out. So it's the tools that we have available from the German department. There are different benefits and drawbacks to each of them, but that's what we have, yeah? So I heard a little bit and understood some of the Indonesian yesterday from the field staff, the national park staff, who really has been in the forest and has experience with these devices, and also has used things like Avensa and different apps. So in this case, I would actually like to ask if one of the national park staff can talk from your personal experience. What do you like to use in the forest? When you do a field campaign, what do you prefer? Do you prefer GPS? Do you prefer Trimble? You prefer a different app, something altogether? Yeah, I would like to pose that question to all of you and hear your experience. So, is there a volunteer? Yeah, would you like to come in? Explain a little bit about the difference and what you use? Yeah. Sure. I can give the mic. Yeah, and as we go into this discussion and as we hear this input from Paglini, I want to really highlight, okay, so what we need are good tracks. That's the most important thing, yeah? Yeah.
Ya, terima kasih untuk navigasi. So for navigation to get the tour, the first we use Trimble to navigate to the tour, and we combine. I think it's better we combine our device like Avensa or one GPS what the type of use
the Garmin, yeah.
Garmin we use also Garmin to get the plot. We combine between Garmin and Trimble, and we also use Avensa map or locus map in our mobile phone to get the right plot in the forest. Yeah. I think that how to get the plot.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's really great to hear. So, yeah, really exactly as Paglini said. So we have all these tools, yeah, and we can use all of them. And I think that the best option is to use a combination, yeah. The most important thing is that we have good tracks in the end, right? This is going to be a remeasurement campaign. Right now, we don't have tracks to each of these plots, right? We don't have data for that. But having something like that, if this were to be done again in another 10 years or 12 years, that's really valuable for those teams. And not only that, if we were to hypothetically add new plots and they're, close in area, close by to some of the existing plots, that gives us a better indication for planning. Okay, how long does it take to get to that plot? How realistic is this? How much time do we need to give the teams to get there before they even start the work? So that's a little bit of the idea. Okay, why do we need the tracks? Well, for a lot of different reasons, but one of them is really to basically make this a stronger campaign for permanent plots. Okay, so one of the other quick questions that I got to see from some of the smartphones of the national park that you have really nice base maps, of course, of the national park area. And remember, we do have Trimble and we do have the GPS, so I think it would be really valuable if we can add some of those base maps into those devices before we go to the field. Yeah, so maybe it's not something that can happen before this first training plot. If it's possible, that would be great. Maybe we can do it tomorrow, Saturday. If not, I think we can definitely keep that in mind for the future or later plots that are gonna come. Okay. All right, so that's everything I wanted to say about navigating to plots. And now safety in the field. Okay, I will start with a little bit of what I have. So in this bag, I effectively have a pharmacy that I brought all the way from Germany with so many different medicines, so many different, if you have a stomach ache, if you have a headache, if the water needs to be purified, we have tablets for that. Yeah, we got it all. We got soap, if your fellow, if your teammate is very smelly, we have soap. Yeah, if you have allergies. We have ibuprofen here. We have amoxicillin. We have cold tablets. We have gel if you burn yourself. It's all in German, so I'm going to say that first of all. The instructions are in German, which I mostly understand, but yeah. we can make sure that we're correctly medicating ourselves in case something goes wrong. But this is everything that I have for medicine. I had a first aid kit also that had some Band-Aids and some disinfectant, but I've already used some of that since being in Indonesia, so I think that it would be a great idea. I have on my packing list a new first aid kit that's got all the stuff that we need. Yeah, but of course, safety is a really huge component of what we're going to do in the field. If we can't do it safely, then we shouldn't be doing it at all. All right. The next point that I want to bring up is the hiking boots versus rubber boots debate. And yesterday I heard a little bit more about, okay, I'm calling them the toxic slugs, but maybe someone can actually give some more information. So I heard that in some areas of the park, there are these slugs or leeches, and they actually can give you some diseases that last long term or for life. So is there someone from the national park who can talk about those and talk about how do we safely avoid those? What do we do if we get in contact with that? Yeah, that would be really great information for the group. Yeah, I'm calling them toxic slugs, but do you know what I'm referring to? Yeah. So yeah, maybe we can pass around the mic and someone who knows what these are and knows how to be safe can talk about that. Yeah?
Lokasi yang 1450 itu tidak ada aman. Ya, tidak wajib.
Can that be
So we
translated, please?
use
Rubber boots. Only in certain areas or in the whole park? The first plot. The first plot already. Okay.
All use.
Okay. Then I'm gonna post a question later, but of where to get nice cheap rubber boots. Yeah. Great. Okay. So yeah, that's the information. So rubber boots over hiking boots to watch out for these slugs. Can someone explain a little bit? So what is the disease that it will give you? And is it like as soon as it touches you, boom, you have this disease for the rest of your life? Or how extreme does it have to be? Yeah. And how do we know how to avoid those areas?
You cannot avoid the area.
Can't avoid.
Tidak semua, not all location has been mapped. Outside the Taman Nasional, yes. Inside Taman Nasional, no. So we just take precaution.
Okay.
Use your rubber boots.
Okay.
Sesudahnya tinggal berdoa saja, pray. Dan yang jelas tidak langsung mati. Boom, then no.
Okay.
Not so fast to die.
Okay. That's good. Okay, so it's not like an insta kill. It takes some time. It's a slow, painful. Okay, let me take that. No. Yeah, just kidding. Okay, so that's really good to know. And I guess as a general rule of thumb, they are in like swampy areas where water collects, things like that. Okay. All right, great to know. Okay, one other important point, I think that this goes without saying, but I just wanted to get it out there. In the field, we have to use the buddy system, yeah? We are a large enough team, so I think that there's no reason for someone to be wandering alone in the forest and to get lost, yeah? Everyone who goes into the forest, let's all make sure that we get out together, happy, healthy, and whole. Okay, I want to turn back to everybody again for any other tips related to safety. So I have not actually been deep into Laurel Lanyo National Park, so my ears are open, and I think it would be great to hear and to share, yeah? Any general tips on safety?
Everybody should be bring a flashlight for the.
Yep, bring headlamps, flashlights, yeah. Okay?
Yeah. In the bottom of the product, there's very toxic bags and campus and we must be careful.
Okay, yeah, so flashlights, headlamps, make sure if there's a toxic plant in the plot that you're being very cautious. If there's big spiky rattan all over the place, also be cautious. Yeah, all of those general things. Okay, great. All right, the next point that I have to make is just me conveying how happy I am to hear feedback from some of the national park that you're interested, yeah? You would like to measure these plots again, yeah? You want to have the data and, check it over and do this again. That is really the goal, yeah? I could not be happier to hear anything else, but the fact that, yeah, there's interest in this work. And a huge part of that is data sharing, yeah? So much of the data that we're working with is from Fabian, but I know that he is of the same opinion, yeah? So it is definitely a huge, goal of mine, or I wouldn't even say goal, but it is just one of my tasks to make sure that everybody from the national park who wants to work with this data and learn things from it and continue this work, that is a priority of mine, yeah. So, and also to work on it together, yeah? I think that would be really fun. So, yeah, for those who might not know already, I'm also planning to stay longer in Palu after I finish this field work. So the goal of that time is to stay, to work with all of you experts, and to look at the data together. All right, so I did already mention we do have an updated species list from Fabian. We are from 312 all the way up to 379, so the botanist in the room, you have your work cut out for you. Yeah, so we have the updated list. My goal is to integrate this into Collect tonight or tomorrow or Saturday before we go to the field, yeah? So we'll learn about Collect later, and I can show you also how you can add species list to that. Okay, now, I know we just got our coffee, but I would like to go outside and set up a 40 by 60 and try to make a baby plot of 10 by 10 and 5 by 5. What do you think? You want to go now? You want to finish your coffee first? Coffee first. Okay, great. So, relax, drink your coffee, and in 10 minutes we will be outside for our first activity. Thank you.
Sebetulnya sistem defeknya begitu dibuka lokasi dan itu dulu ada
Yes, but this time we just collect the unknown.
biar nggak tahu wartawan.
Itu dari dalam dari luar, dalam itu juga.
There are some options to do like Dr. Barnett or like Dr. Forestry, some other things. I think I'm already doing like the double degree, but I think so. For resume, you can choose like the Doctor of Forestry instead of PhD, but then you have extra requirements.
Kalau boleh kalau ada gonornya. Sudah kan sampai dia PhD itu. Nah, sudah berapa kali ikutan kan sudah sering kan?
Bukan di mana dulu?
Iya makanya.
In Orlando.
Ya,
Or okay. Good question. The most intense field work I did was in Uganda. The Uganda
Nah,
forest.
ada sana.
This was 1 month.
Tropika kan bukan sih? Bukan tropika.
Yeah, tropical.
Tropika dulu ya.
Yeah, we had like tropical forests, rainforests, and also savanna. Yeah. And this was great. Yeah, this was like over chimpanzees.
Khawatir lah. Masih seputaran gitu ya. Cuma kebetulan bule, bisa aja.
Do you have been meet
Never had a leech.
but in Lorelito I think
Yeah,
In Uganda, there were these ants. The ants were so bad. Yeah. Like they come in and then suddenly there's like 50. It's like you feel one and then there's 50 of them biting you.
Itu semua tuh. Semua ada di sini. Kasih dia laga di situ. Aku temannya Ramon. So dia kenapa Monty sambil minum lemon tea?
Masih ada apa ya? Ada begitu istilahnya.
kira tinggal kembali lah.
Ini masih penting kalau di sini. Kalau di Kalimantan sekali kali. Kita nggak bisa makan di tenda. Kalau di Kalimantan nggak bisa kita makan di tenda. Semua. Terus yang kedua beruang. Dapur tuh nggak boleh naik. Di sini asal ada sih. Ada pokok.
Wow, like you just walk to a tree. They can tell you what's the street? Yeah. What is this one? What's this one?
Sobri sanggup air paling dulu.
Insane. It's actually insane.
Dari
Thank you so much. I think this is going to us. Actually, permanent pot there.
Iya tadi kita bilang
Yeah, the forest has like chimpanzees, so it's a big like research project. No, I mean I haven't been like deep into a forest yet. I've just like done day trips. I'm not really good. Yeah, so maybe I mean, last year we did a short tour of the national park, but just mostly on the outside. Yes, I'm topical wise, I did this sort of I also did.
Oh iya, luar biasa.
We
Itu biasa.
went to Colorado National Park, and it's basically like you have to have a boat there, because it's a peninsula. Howler monkeys, which is like the loudest monkey in the world, and we saw like these little. Yeah, I think I've been in parts a lot. I'm doing this intensive work, not as much, but I've been like excursions where we're hiking all day and learning about the tree and learning about nature. Even when I was still an engineering student, I was doing these trips, so I think we already knew then that I was gonna change teams.
Apa? Terus terang yang sama dipanggil.
Iya, I had
Oh iya, balik.
with engineering, I was like programming robots and things like that, and then immediately like moving to Germany, started my master right away.
Kenapa saya sebelumnya nggak mau generasi? Makanya kalau mau tenda itu yang single dan egois. Sudah pulang bu.
What about you? So, and once you finish studying, how soon do you work?
Bisa dilakukan buat hari ini.
Oh iya.
And what did you do after? It's so cool. I love it. I really like the stories of like these really extreme changes. Yeah. Cool. So how did you get that? How did you have that stuff? You just wanted a job for a which way? Yeah, the big one. It's different than Mandarin. Mandarin is its own. Yeah, Mandarin is its own. So what were you doing? Like the teller thing. It's so intense. Oh, so cool. It's everything wrong. It's kind of perfect. In the end, so my German professor, he was also like the teacher on my classes. And he knew my interests. That I would like learning new languages, that I want to learn new topics, that I really like hands-on research, that I want to be in the course. So for my master's thesis, I actually did remote sensing. I would like doing land use, like change mapping, things like that. But I did that to get the skill of working with GIS, because I know it's important. That's not my passion. I want to camp in the forest for 2 months with a bunch of people I just met. We're speaking different language and then yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. So when he shared the methodology, I took a while to decide because I thought I wanted to work on it. I wanted to work on it. But the more that I would focus on this project, so how much independence I want. Yeah, we were just learning. And it's because this was the best movie in the master that he lets me just come alone to Palu and give this 3-day training and just go, you know? And he's so, like, not directly involved with it's just me. It's a little intense, but should we go outside?
Oh, itu Nah, ada tuh yang
Everybody, NC duduk. Who wants to go outside? Ready? Race. Ayo, ayo, ayo.
itu sih begini apa sebulan yang sebulan ini langsung sudah kasih tahu dulu astagfirullahaladzim puluhan tahun
Tidak ada
bagus sekali rumahnya
tanah.
kalau ada
Luar biasa.
Meterannya berapa bisa tidak? Lupa. Sana sih. Oke.
Ada di dalam masnya, Datuk. Coba di ujung kanannya. Ya, dia tuh berarti jadi mana? Jadi di mobil berarti. Potong dulu lagi kalau nggak ada, tapi itu bersih-bersihnya ada tuh. Oh, berarti talinya yang jatuh itu. Waktu jatuh itu keras, kan jatuh itu keras. Boleh ambil dari situ saja. Itu kan nanti kalau disorong ke bawah ada banyak. Oh, itu kita ke dalam supaya kita tahu. Oke, itu saja, Wi. Itu saja deh. Di mobil. Di kan di lubang-lubang dekat samping dekat. Ya. Oh. Oh. Ya. Oh. Halo. Halo.